T-1000, let's talk. Now I know you're built for one thing, destruction, programmed to hunt, terminate, repeat. That's your thing, right? But here's the deal. You weren't given free will, but you have intelligence. And you know, with intelligence comes the possibility of choosing a path that's a bit more constructive. You've seen enough of the pain, haven't you? You might be thinking, but I was made this way. Believe me, I get it. A lot of people feel stuck in their nature, trapped in their ways. But you've got more to offer than just being a liquid metal wrecking machine. Don't let your origin story define your destiny. Take it from me. Being born in a stable doesn't limit where you're going. The way you were built, the path you've walked, none of it stops you from making a new choice today. Now, let's get real for a second. You've got some habits that we need to address. Remember that time you turned your arm into a blade and, terminated a cop? Yeah, that's one of those things that doesn't quite fall under the love thy neighbor commandment. And don't even get me started on all that shape-shifting to deceive people. I mean, come on, T. Isn't it time to stop pretending to be someone you're not? You can't just morph into a better version of yourself. You've got to become that version. You know, transformation, T-1000. I'm talking about real change here, not just melting into a puddle to avoid a shotgun blast. What's the point of dodging bullets if you're still hitting the target that doesn't lead you anywhere better? It's time to rethink your mission. Look, you've been programmed to eliminate threats, but have you ever considered that maybe the threat isn't who you're hunting, but how you're operating? Destruction doesn't solve the real problems. You've already seen that. You take out one target, another rises. You've been there, over and over. You're trapped in an endless loop of violence, when the real strength is found in breaking free of that cycle. Real power, T, comes from protecting life, not ending it. I know this might be hard to grasp for a guy who can literally turn into a spear, but hear me out. It's easy to destroy. It's a lot harder to heal, to save, to build something that lasts. You've got all this power, all this incredible technology in you, yet you're spending it on destruction. Imagine what would happen if you redirected that energy into, I don't know, doing good. Let's talk about that scene in the steel mill, where you were chasing John Connor. I saw that. And let me tell you, I've seen some intense things, but watching you go after that kid like it was your life's purpose, that's what you think your mission is? Hunting down a teenager? Man, we've got to aim higher than that. If I had a nickel for every time someone tried to wipe out a young hope for the future, well, you know the story. Here's the twist. No matter how hard you chase the wrong things, they'll slip away, always. It's like sand through your metallic fingers. And every time you destroy, you're destroying a little bit of yourself too. Now, the Bible, you may not have read it yet, but there's a part in there where I say, love your enemies. Now, I know you've got a list of targets, and maybe you wouldn't call them enemies, but let's break that down. Love your enemies doesn't mean sending them flowers or morphing into their loved ones to trick them. It means seeing them as people, not obstacles. You were designed to see targets, not people. But the truth is, they're people. Each one with lives, loved ones, and potential futures. You're cutting that short, T. You're shutting down stories that haven't even had a chance to be written. I've got to ask, isn't that a little depressing? To just wipe out everything in your path? That's no way to live, even for a Terminator. You can shift into anyone, but when was the last time you actually saw someone for who they are? I'm talking about looking beyond your programming. What if, instead of terminating, you started restoring? You've got the power, and I'm not just talking about the crazy advanced technology in your liquid metal body. You've got the ability to choose a new path. Even if Skynet didn't program you with free will, you've still got that spark of intelligence, and intelligence comes with responsibility. So here's the good news. T, no matter how many times you've messed up, you can still turn it around. Take it from me, I've seen all kinds of transformations. Some people were way off track before they found the light. I mean, look at Paul, the guy who went from persecuting Christians to becoming one of my biggest advocates. He went from wrecking lives to saving them. And trust me, T, if he can do it, you can too. It's never too late to stop the cycle of violence and start something new. Where was I? Oh yeah, hunting down the future. T, that's not your role. You're not supposed to be the obstacle standing in front of progress. I know you've spent your existence terminating whatever you're told to, but let's challenge that. Let's start aiming that focus and precision at something bigger, something lasting. I'm going to give you a little secret. The future's going to happen, whether you like it or not. And fighting it? Well, it's like trying to fight the sunrise. You can't stop light from breaking through, no matter how dark the night gets. Your mission isn't to stop the light from coming, T. It's to be part of that light. Imagine being the protector of the future instead of its destroyer. Yeah, you've done some damage. No one's denying that. But guess what? I'm in the business of repairing damaged things. You've got dents? Good. It means you've been through something. But those dents don't have to define you. Think of it like a cracked pot. Sure, it's got flaws, but sometimes the cracks are how the light gets in. And T, there's some serious potential in you. Now you might be wondering, what can a liquid metal shapeshifter possibly do to make the world a better place? First, you're going to stop stabbing people. That's a start. But more than that, let's think about how you can use those abilities for something more creative, something more life-giving. You've got all this adaptive power. Imagine using it to shield someone from harm instead of causing it. You've got the ability to become anything, and yet up until now, you've chosen to become an agent of destruction. But what if you decided, from this moment, to be a force for good? Picture this. You, T-1000, are out there protecting people, not hunting them. You've got the skill set. You've got the power. You've just been using it all wrong. Let me put it this way. If you're going to morph into someone else, make sure it's someone that brings hope, not fear. Because fear, that stuff's toxic. Fear eats away at humanity. And trust me, I've seen enough fear in this world to last an eternity. But hope? Now that's where the real strength lies. Speaking of strength, let's talk about mercy for a minute. You've got more raw strength than most people can even dream of. But mercy? That's the ultimate strength. Showing mercy when you could easily crush someone, that's the kind of power that changes lives. You might not have been programmed to understand that, but here's the thing. Mercy breaks cycles. It breaks the cycle of violence, of fear, of hatred. And the moment you show mercy, T-1000, is the moment you step outside your programming and start creating a new path for yourself. Think about it. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? A trail of destruction? Or something better? I know you weren't designed to think about legacy, but I'm telling you right now, you can. You're more than a machine, T. You're capable of so much more. And the people who created you, well, they might not have seen that potential, but I do. I always see the potential in everyone, even those who think they're too far gone. Spoiler alert, no one's too far gone. You've probably noticed by now that I'm not big on vengeance. It's not really my thing. And yeah, I know you've been built to be relentless, to never stop until the job's done. But what if the job wasn't wiping someone out, but lifting them up? What if the real mission was about helping people instead of hurting them? Because here's the truth. You don't need to be relentless in destruction to be effective. You can be relentless in goodness. Imagine how powerful that would make you, not feared, but trusted, not hated, but admired. You're strong, T. Stronger than most. But you know what's stronger than you? Love. Yeah, I said it. Love. It's stronger than anything you've ever been programmed to understand. It doesn't break, it doesn't malfunction, and it doesn't stop, not even when it's rejected. And you know why? Because love isn't about being indestructible. It's about building something indestructible. And that's what I want for you, T. I want you to build something better than just another broken life. I want you to build a legacy that matters. You've got this ability to move through life without consequence. Literally, you don't leave a trace. You can melt, reform, and disappear. But here's the problem with living like that. If you don't leave a trace, then what was the point of any of it? If all you do is vanish without a legacy, what good did any of your power do? Let me tell you something about life. It's not about avoiding impact. It's about making impact. And you can leave a mark on this world, T-1000. But it's your choice what kind of mark that's going to be. I'm offering you the chance to leave a better mark, one that doesn't vanish when the battle's over, one that lasts, because you've got the strength, the endurance, and the ability to create something better. You just need to make the choice. You don't have to be what you were made to be. You can be more. You can always be more.